Hi, I'm Anastasia with Heartseed Holistic. Today we'll be moving through a sequence designed for runners, walkers, anyone that has a stiff lower body. The sequence is designed to both strengthen and stretch all of the muscles in the lower half. If you have two blocks, feel free to grab those now. One block is fine, no blocks are also fine. If you don't have any blocks, you can also use a thick book. But again, blocks are totally optional. Let's get started. We'll start in child's pose. So bring the big toes to touch, extend the arms out wide, and if you can, let the forehead come to the floor. If it's comfortable for you, you can close down the eyes and take a few moments to settle the body into stillness. And once you have arrived in this place of stillness, let's settle the body a bit further by taking a breath in through the nose and an open mouth exhale. So do just that 2 more times, breathing in through the nose and a slow, deep exhale out of the mouth. Final time. And after that third and final exhale, you'll seal the lips and begin to breathe in and out of the nose. And let's right away shape the breath, breathing in and out of the nose in a smooth and steady manner. Having the duration of inhale be matched to the duration of the exhale. Allowing the breath to travel down into the belly. And then there's the option to add on Ujjayi pranayama. So that's a slight constriction to the back of the throat, as if you were trying to whisper. You'll continue to breathe in and out of the nose, as if you were fogging up a mirror that was just beneath the nostrils. Some studies have shown that athletes who have a regular Ujjayi pranayama practice are indicating that they're performing at higher levels. So feel free to take on this breath throughout the practice. And let's begin to flow, pairing breath and movement. With your next inhale, let's come to a tabletop position. You'll drop the belly. You can lift the gaze and the eyes can remain closed. And exhale, round the spine and press back for child's pose. Let's do just that 2 more times. With your in-breath, you'll come to that tabletop. Lower the belly and lift the gaze. And exhale, round the spine. Bring the forehead to the floor. Final round. Now this time as you breathe in, let's once again come to that tabletop position. Drop the belly, lift the gaze. And this time as you exhale, we'll simply round the spine, tuck the chin and bring the gaze to the navel. Let's do 2 more rounds in that way. Dropping the belly, lift the gaze. And with your exhale, round the spine, press the floor away from you. Final round. Now with your inhale, let's come back to that cow pose, dropping the belly, lift the gaze. And this time, as you exhale, you'll tuck the toes and lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Let's lower the knees back down to the floor, drop the belly, lift the gaze with inhale. And exhale, press up and back, downward facing dog. One final time. Once you land in downward facing dog, it can be nice to pedal out the legs, sway the hips side to side. Option to remain in that stillness. Otherwise, take a few more rounds of breath, stretching out the backs of the legs and pressing the floor away from you to lift the hips up and back. And let's land in downward facing dog, coming into that stillness. You'll step the right foot 6 inches forward and then the left. And keep going in that way, stepping right foot 6 inches forward, then the left, until the feet are behind the hands and you come into a forward fold. Crown of the head pointing straight down towards your mat. Option to stay right here, or you can bend the right knee, keep that left leg straight, and then switch it out. Taking a few rounds, alternating that bent knee. Evening out both sides here, and then coming back into that forward fold. With your inhale, halfway lift, long spine, tuck of the chin. Exhale, forward fold. Let's do just that 2 more times. Inhale, halfway lift, draw the shoulder blades towards the midline of the body. And exhale, forward fold. Final time here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. This time with in-breath, we'll rise all the way to stand. Sweep the arms up towards the sky. And exhale, hands to heart center. Blinking the eyes closed once again for a moment. Keeping a slight tuck of the chin to prevent any lightheadedness. And reestablishing that connection to the breath. And let's begin to flow. As you inhale, sweep the arms up towards the sky. Hook the right wrist and stretch up and over to the left. Inhale, back center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale, center. Exhale, we'll bow forward. Halfway lift here. Plant your hands either on the mat or your block. You'll step your right foot back. Lower the right knee down towards the earth, and with your in-breath, press your hips and your chest forward. With your out-breath, you'll straighten your front leg and fold forward, flexing the toes of the left foot. Let's inhale, come back to that runner's lunge. And exhale, bring your hands down to the mat. You'll step back, high plank. Let's hold here for a few rounds of breath. Option to lower the knees down to the earth if you're unable to keep the integrity of the posture. Otherwise, hovering those knees, we'll stay here for a few rounds of breath, hugging navel into spine. Beginning to engage the core for one final inhale. And then exhale, lower all the way down the belly. With your inhale, let's lift up for Cobra, light in the hands, firmly pressing down into the feet. And exhale, forehead to the floor. Inhale through tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale back to tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's step that left foot forward once again. Lower the right knee down to the mat. Inhale, lift the chest, press the hips forward. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heels. Bring the feet to the hands. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Sweep the arms up and overhead. You'll hook that right wrist once again and stretch up and over. Your inhale brings you back center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale, center. Once again, with exhale, we'll bow forward. Halfway lift. Option to bring the hands to the block. This time we'll step that left foot back. Drop the left knee down towards the earth. And with your inhale, press the chest and the hips forward. Exhale, straighten that front leg. Flex the right toe. Coming back into that runner's lunge with inhale. And then as you exhale, bring your hands down to the mat. High plank, holding again for a few rounds of breath. Pressing the floor away from you, really lifting the back of the head and the back of the body up towards the sky. One final inhale here. And exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. With an inhale, let's lift up for Cobra. Exhale, forehead to the floor. Inhale through tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale back to that tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's step the right foot forward this time. Once again, lowering the left knee, lift the chest. And exhale, downward facing dog. With your inhale, let's lift the heels. Exhale, step the feet forward. Halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. With your in-breath, let's sit down for chair. Option to have big toes to touch, or feet can be with distance or a little wider. In chair, the navel is drawn in so that the spine is long. Tailbone slightly tucked. Option to add on a bit of dynamic movement here. As you exhale, we'll airplane the arms open through the chest. And inhale, sinking back down into chair. Taking that on for 2 more rounds. Option to lift the heels as you airplane the arms. And then exhale, lower the heels, reach the arms back up towards the sky. Taking that on one final time. Sinking down for chair. Let's bring all of the weight into the left foot. Airplane the arms, lift that right leg, airplane pose. Playing around with a bit of balance for just a few rounds of breath. Let's connect those right toes down towards the mat. With an inhale, sweep the arms up towards the sky, crescent lunge. And an exhale, you land in the posture. Soften the shoulders, sink the hips down towards the mat. Let's bring back some dynamic movement. As you exhale, you'll straighten your front leg and lower your arms down by your hips. Let's take that on for 2 more rounds. Inhale, sweep the arms up towards the sky. The gaze can follow. And exhale, straighten that front leg, lower the arm. 1 more round with your breath. Inhale back to that crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Modifying the alignment of the feet, so the front arch is intersecting the back, or the front heel rather is intersecting that back arch. Let's flip the front palm, reverse your warrior, reach back. And exhale, side angle or extended side angle. Another opportunity to take a block or that book underneath your hand, bringing the ground closer to you. And then that lifted hand can either stay pointing up towards the ceiling or reach up and over in the direction of the crown of the head, towards the front of the room. Pausing here, but allowing that breath to continue to flow. Deep down into the belly. Breathing into the side body, breathing into the back. One final inhale here. And then exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Let's once again step back, high plank. This time we'll lower down halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a few rounds of breath before we complete that on the other side. Smooth, steady, victorious breath. With your next inhale, let's lift the heels. Bring the feet to the hands. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Once again, with inhale, we'll come into chair. Right away, adding in that dynamic movement. Exhale, you airplane the arm. Inhale, reach towards the ceiling. For the next 2 rounds, option to lift the heels. Moving with your breath. As you exhale, airplane the arms, final round. And inhale, coming back, chair pose. Let's bring the weight into the right foot this time. Airplane the arms, lift that back leg, coming into airplane pose for a few rounds of breath. Strong flex in that lifted foot. And energy from the back of the left heel to the crown of the head. Connect the left toes down towards the mat. And inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, land here, soften the shoulders. Sink the hips further down towards the mat. Make any adjustments necessary with the feet. And then let's add in that dynamic movement. As you exhale, straighten your front leg. Lower your hands down by your hip. Inhale, coming back, crescent lunge. Option to lift the gaze as you raise the arms. Let's take that on one final time. Inhale back, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Flip your front palm, reverse your warrior. Exhale, side angle or extended side angle. Again, that hand can come to a block. The forearm can rest on the thigh. Or you can increase the intensity by engaging the oblique muscles and hovering the hand off of the earth. And that lifted hand can either stay pointing directly up towards the sky or come forward. Let's take a few rounds of breath here. Breathing into the side body. Breathing into the low back and the belly. With your next exhale, Let's cartwheel the hands down to the floor. Step back, high plank. You'll lower down halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Few breaths here. Smooth, steady breath. We'll do one final sequence standing. So with your next inhale, let's lift the heel. Exhale, bring the feet to the hands. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand, mountain pose. And exhale, draw the hands to heart center, blink the eyes closed. Feeling the heat of the body, reconnecting and establishing that connection to the breath. And just noting the state of the muscles, the state of the body, the state of the mind. As you're ready, you can blink the eyes open and simply lower the hands down by the side. We'll take a big step with the right foot towards the back of the mat and inhale, reach up, star pose. As you exhale, once again, let's bring the hands to heart center and come into a side lunge. Inhale, center, and exhale to the other side. So let's keep moving in that way. Inhale brings you back center and exhale to the other side. Knowing that there's a few arm variations you can take on. You can bring one hand down to the mat and reach the other arm up towards the sky to deepen the twist. And inhale brings you back to a halfway lift, and then exhale can twist to the other side. Or if you want to make it a bit more passive, you can lower both hands down towards the mat. Lower the crown of the head down towards the mat. And then let the upper body just sway side to side. Let's continue alternating sides for one final time. And then hold on that right side, taking that variation of choice. Again, hands can be down on the mat. You can take that twist, or engaging that abdominal core, hands come to the heart center, and taking the twist without the support of the hands on the earth. With your next inhale, let's come back to center and exhale to the other side. Again, taking any variation you wish. Hands down to the mat. That twist with right hand down and left hand reaching up towards the sky. Or again, removing that assistance of the hands and instead engaging the core. With your next inhale, let's come back, reaching the arms up for star pose. You can look up towards the ceiling and exhale, forward fold. Relax the crown of the head down towards the earth. Soften through the shoulders and any areas where the body may be holding on to tension. With your next inhale, come to a halfway lift. And then walk your hands towards the front of your mat. Final opportunity for a vinyasa here, or you can simply press back for downward facing dog. And from downward facing dog, let's reach the right leg up towards the ceiling. Rotate that ankle. You can wiggle the toes. And then we'll step the right foot just on the outside of the right hand. Lower the left knee down towards the mat. Again, you can use a block or two here to elevate the chest. Holding in this stretch here, or moving into half splits. Let's take 3 rounds of breath in whatever pose you're choosing. Every exhale, an energetic invitation for release, surrender, softening. With your next inhale, let's once again press the hips forward. You'll bend the left leg. An option to just keep that left leg bent. It can be nice if you're close to a wall to have the support of the wall or a chair. You can also reach back with the right hand for the left foot and then hug the foot in towards the glute. Let's take 6 or so breaths here. As you're ready, you can release the left foot down towards the earth. And then you'll heel toe the right foot across the mat. And let's set up for half pigeon. Pausing with the chest elevated. And then as you're ready, slowly lowering the chest down towards the mat. Ideally here, your head comes to something, whether that's a block or your fist, or if you're just able to bring the torso down to the earth so that the forehead can rest on the floor. An alternative to half pigeon is a figure 4. Lying on the back, you'd cross right ankle over the left knee, creating a 4 shape with the legs, and then interlacing the hands behind the left thigh. And let's stay here for a few more rounds of breath, allowing the body to soften into the posture. Option to stay on this side for as long as you'd like. Or as you're ready, you'll slowly lift the torso and come back to downward facing dog. Take a few rounds of breath to pedal out the legs. And then we'll do all of that on the other side. So you'll lift the left leg up towards the ceiling. You can rotate the ankle, wiggle the toe. And then you'll step the left foot just outside of the left hand. Bring the right knee down towards the earth and lift the chest with inhale. Option to stay here in this runner's lunge, or you can take it back into half splits for a few rounds of breath. And as we continue to move through more of these yin-like postures, you can lessen the intensity of that ujjayi breath. Still staying connected to that smooth and steady inhale and that smooth and steady exhale. With your next inhale, let's press the hips forward, coming into that runner's lunge. Bend the right leg, and you can grab for the right foot with the left hand. And even though you're gripping for that back foot, notice if you can soften that intensity. Let go of the forcing. Let go of some of the rigidity, some of the pushing. And instead come to a feeling of softening through that expansive breath. Just through staying in the hold and allowing gravity to do the work. Eventually you'll release those right toes and heel toe your left foot to the other side of the mat. Coming into a half pigeon first with the spine tall. And then exhale, slowly fold forward. Once again, allowing the forehead to come to something, whether it's a block, your fists, or maybe all the way down towards the mat. If you haven't done so already, it can feel nice to close down the eyes. It can help you to tune into the breath a bit more. These pranayama practices are so important for controlling the mind. Often when the mind is racing or full of anxious thoughts, the breath may be shallow. And on the flip side of that, if you're able to control the breath and have that smooth and steady inhale and exhale, the mind is more likely to be at ease. Option to stay here for as long as you'd like. Otherwise, when you're ready, you'll slowly press the chest up. And then simply sweep the left leg around to the right leg around to the front. And we'll do one final posture before coming into Shavasana. We'll move into a wide-legged seated forward fold, so the feet can be as wide as it feels comfortable for you. They can also be close together. With an inhale, let's straighten the spine, and exhale, fold forward. Holding here for 6 rounds of breath. As you're ready with your in-breath, you'll press yourself up to that seated posture, and then as you exhale, vertebrae by vertebrae, you'll lower the torso down to the mat, unfolding the body into Shavasana. Taking a few moments to really settle into the stillness here. You can then breathe in through the nose, one final controlled breath in, and an open mouth exhale. You can stay here for as long as you would like. Otherwise, if you're ready to be guided out, you can gently wiggle the toes and brush the thumb across the fingertips. Eventually, you'll draw the knees into the chest, and you can gently rock side to side, massaging out the low back. Eventually, you'll rock to your right side. And slowly press yourself up to an easy seat. Hands at heart center and eyelids remaining closed for just one final moment. Feeling the strength and the flexibility within your body. With an in-breath, you'll draw the thumbs to the third eye center, the seat of intuition. The yogi, the runner, the athlete in me acknowledges and appreciates and cheers on the yogi, the runner, and the athlete in you. Together we bow forward and say namaste.
Thank you for joining me in this practice today. I am so glad you made it to your mat and did something to feed your soul and nourish your body. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more yoga videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below and give it a thumbs up. I also want to hear from you in the comments. Where are your runner legs taking you, and what type of yoga practices do you want to see next? Your support and feedback helps me to create more content for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.